Christy. Today I want to talk to you about comparable lives. So I thought I'd take a different approach for the next few weeks. Now, partly because it's summer, and partly because things are ramping up around here, and partly because I think this could kind of be interesting. I think I'm going to take the next few weeks and just give you some of the musings that are running around in my head. I make no promise that there'll be any real rhyme or reason to them, but let's see where this takes us. My mind is more and more focused on getting Sean moved to college. Now, we're down to less than a month until his move-in date. And while I'm excited for him and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him, I'm also finding myself dreading this trip. You see, I despise goodbyes. And this is a biggie. It's a good one, an appropriate one, but I'm still dreading it. It's also gotten me thinking about what a comparable life looks like for AJ. It seems to me like it's a good place to start to think about, does comparable have to mean equal? Does a comparable life mean that everything is equal? Personally, I don't think so. Parents of typical children know that not everything will be 100% equal between all of their kids all of the time. And they never think twice about it. One child goes to college while another chooses to attend technical school. Yet another child decides to head straight into the workforce. Or here's another example. Two children attend and graduate from college. One finds a job immediately and begins a life independent from their parents. The other struggles to find a job that pays enough for them to live independently, even with a roommate. So they move back home with mom and dad for a while. Now, in these two examples, things are not 100% equal between the siblings. But I don't think anybody would argue that their lives aren't comparable to their siblings. Yes, they're different, but they're still comparable. They're even. They're equal. Now, let's bring special needs into the picture, and we'll use my family as an example. AJ graduated from high school, but not with a typical diploma. This allows him to stay in our district's post-secondary program for an additional 4 years. That's how he's doing his job skills program, and we'll begin looking for a job for him in the not-too-distant future. Now, Sean graduated from high school this spring, and he starts college out of state this fall. He's moving into the dorms, and honestly, I don't anticipate him living with us again. Yes, he'll visit, and if I'm lucky, he'll have some longer visits. But I don't anticipate that he'll actually live with us again. Now, AJ still lives with us and can't wait to move into my own house. Now, his own house is definitely not going to be completely independently, at least not in the foreseeable future. Yes, I see him living apart from us within the next year or so, I hope. We'll have to see on waiting lists and when and where we can get him in place. Or here's another comparison, work. Now, while AJ definitely needs a job to keep him active, engaged, and participating in life, I don't know that he'll be able to find a job that will fully support a reasonable lifestyle for him. We may always have to supplement his income, or he'll have to have some form of assistance. Now, Sean is already looking at jobs and careers that will allow him to have fulfilling work that supports himself and his family. And yes, he's already considering the pay of potential careers and factoring that into his decision-making process. Now, while he may occasionally need some one-time help from us, I don't foresee needing to bail him out. He'll be able to provide a lifestyle that he's happy with. So if special needs means that things look so drastically different, how do you know if your kids are able to live comparable lives? What does comparable look like? Well, that can be a really hard question to answer, but I think there are several things we need to remember. Again, one, comparable doesn't mean 100% equal. Comparable does mean that each person is putting forth similar effort. The focus needs to be on leading a fulfilling life, not on who contributes how much. And finally, ability level needs to be considered. Is each person providing for themselves to the best of their ability? Now, I'm sure you have other thoughts that you would add to the list, but this gives you a starting point. To me, and you might disagree with me here, but to me, comparable is just that. Lives compare to each other. No, they're not 100% the same, but they're similar, and they meet the needs of each individual. Now, I'll be able to say that my boys are living comparable lives when they can both do several things. One, they're living independently from me, whether that's on their own or with support. They're working at jobs that they find fulfilling, whether it's in a career that has advancement possibilities or in a sheltered environment with lots of support. And they have friends and relationships that provide extracurricular activities, enjoyment, and accountability in their lives. I think you get the idea. So my question for you this week is this. What does comparable look like to you or for your loved one? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below. You can leave me a comment over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This posted in July of 2021. Or if you prefer, you can send me an email at Christy, CHRISTY, at havenofhopeforme.com. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what comparable lives look like for the boys so that I can continue to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.